Hey everyone, today I'm going to do a tutorial on a Holland bag. I don't know if you know what those are. I didn't know until I ran across one on YouTube and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to make that. This is the pattern for the Holland Pouch, and it comes in 3 different sizes, large, medium, and a small. And so I'm going to show you the difference between a Holland Pouch and just a regular makeup bag. So let me reach over here. This is a regular makeup bag, and it's very collapsible, very soft. Has a tab right here so that you can open it up, and it's got a coordinating fabric inside it. Not fancy, but some people really love these because when they travel with them, they can smash them in there. They can just put stuff in it and smash it in their suitcase, and it's very flexible. So that is just a regular makeup bag. And this is a Holland pouch. Whoops. This is a Holland pouch. So this one is very structured, you can see. It will collapse, but it like pops back into its shape because it's made with Sure and Stable, and this is just made with regular batting. So this is structured and it holds its shape, and it has 2 handles on the end, which I really like. And then it has zipper pouch, and inside it's lined, but it's not, the lining is quilted to the outer fabric. So I really like how structured this is. I think it could also go in a suitcase and kind of smush up, but I really like that it holds its shape really well. So these sell very well in my markets. And as a matter of fact, today I'm going to make some more because I have 2 more markets coming up and I only have this one left. So I am going to show you how to do it. If you wanted to purchase this pattern, I will link it below in the description box. And it is by Center Street Quilts, Christina Brinkerhoff, it looks like. So let's get started. I am saving you the boring part. I have already quilted my fabric and cut it. So let me show you what I have going on here. So I have 4 Holland pouches just stacked right here. I just cut out 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I just put all my pieces together in this one little stack. So these are all the pieces that go with this one Holland. And these are all the pieces that go with this one. So that's kind of how I operate so that I don't get confused on all my different fabric. The first thing you do with these is you pick out 2 or 3 different fabrics. I pick out 3. I have my outer fabric, and then this would be my lining on the inside. And then I have this coordinating fabric that would be the accent pieces. And so that's how I like to do it. But you could make your accent the same thing, especially when you do the inside bias binding like this. This one had the outer fabric, the inner lining, and then it has this coordinating fabric, which does your zipper, your handles, and then does the bias. So if you wanted to go ahead and do just 2 fabrics, it would be, this would just blend in and you would not be able to see this. I like the 3 different fabrics. And so that's how I'm going to do this one. This is my zipper that I picked out. I think it's really fun. I've not used this before, but I like the stripe and I like the silver, and it comes with a silver zipper tab. They're all 3 fat quarters. So the pattern tells you that you get your 3 fabric fat quarters. You cut the outside fabric and the lining fabric down to 17 by 21. And then you cut all of these accents out, and there's the foam stabilizer, or I just use Sure and Stable. I use the basting spray, the 505 basting spray, and I just put the lining and the outer fabric together with this Sure and Stable in between, and I quilted it. And of course you can choose any pattern you want, but I just chose a very traditional quilting diagonal pattern. So then I cut this down to the correct size. And now I'm just ready to put the pieces together, and it goes pretty fast. So let's work that out together. All right, so the very first thing that they want us to do is to take the zipper accent fabric and to sew it along the raw edges to raw edges. And so I'm going to do that really quick on both sides with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, so I'm going to put this, the zipper ones on. I'm going to put it on the lining side, 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, then I'm going to wrap this around and I'm going to sew it just like 1/8 of an inch seam. There you have it. That side done, and now I'm just going to work on the other side. Now I've got both of these zipper accent fabrics sewn on right here. I'm going to sew the zipper on. Now, the pattern calls for a zipper that is going to be 1 inch overhang on the top and then a 4 inch overhang on the bottom. So I feel like I've done that. I'm just going to pin this into place because we're just going to top stitch this zipper binding, and at the same time we're going to catch the zipper underneath it, and so that's going to sew the zipper in. So you want to try to make this pretty straight, however far you want your zipper to be from your fabric. Once it's there, it's there. I'm not going to switch to a zipper foot because I'd have to switch my walking foot, and I'm just going to sew this on just like I would. Okay, so you can see how that looks. You just put that top stitch, and when you turn it over, you have caught that zipper back here. We are going to take that and do the exact same thing. We're just going to kind of make a tube out of it, and we're going to sew other side exactly on here. So before I unzip this all the way, I'm going to stitch this together very slowly so that I do not break a needle. And then back stitch very slowly so it won't come apart. And once I do that, I can pin on my other side. So here I've done that, where I've pinned on the other side. And now I'm going to do the exact same thing. Now you know where this 4 inch tail on the zipper comes in handy. Okay, so now I've got my other zipper. If anyone out there struggles with this, do not feel alone. I think you've got some company with this. Sometimes you get lucky and you buy zipper tape that just fits perfectly, and other times it's like you don't even think they go together. This might be one of those times because...
A few moments later.
Okay, so now I have the front zipper fabric on, and I put the tab on the zipper. That's ready. So the next part is that we flip this inside out and we find the center point. Now we're going to sew the end binding on, which is going to be these pieces. I'm going to cut off my extra zipper right here so that it won't be in my way. I'm just going to sew this on with a 1/4 ounce seam allowance. Okay, so I've got both of these end bindings on. I'm going to open this up. All right, so the pattern comes with these like templates so that you can box your corners, and so that's why we don't really care about what these edges look like. I'm going to go mark around these, and then I'm going to go cut out my box corners, and I'll do that off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the handle, which required to put some fusible interfacing in there. So I've ironed them. I have 2 of them, and I'm just going to stitch down both sides. So now I'm gonna, this is what it looks like once I've cut these corners out. So then I'm going to kind of shape it, and I'm going to take my handle and I'm going to slide it through so that it looks like that on each side. And I'm going to pin these in place. I'm going to center this and leave about, I don't know, 1/2 inch out on that. I'm working in my dining room, like I said, so I don't have my window ports down here. So it's harder to use pins on here because it's so thick. But that's one side. And I'm just going to do the same thing. Make sure that your handle's not twisted in there. I'm going to keep it about a half an inch out. Okay, there's a lot of fabric that you're actually sewing through here where you've got your handle and then two sides and then your binding right there. That's why we use the walking foot, right? Because it is so much easier with that. So I'm going to kind of baste stitch this close so that it's easier for me to put my binding on in a minute. So once I have both sides done, I'm just going to trim off these handles and then I'm going to put my end binding on. And this one's going to be a little different because I want to make my edges not show. So I'm going to fold in these little tabs. Let me show you. Now I have my big scissors down here. I'm having to use these little snips. All right, so I'm going to leave a little bit gap open on this, gap open on the side, or like excess open on the sides right here so that I can fold them under. So let me stitch it on real quick. And then when I flip it over, and I'm going to fold that, I'm going to trim that a little bit. It's a little too long for what I need. I'm just going to trim that. And then I'm going to fold this over. And then I'm going to fold it back on itself like that so that you do not have to see that raw edge at all. And I'm going to pin that so that this will stay in place. And I'm going to trim this side. So I've got those on. I'm going to trim my threads right there. Actually going to snip that little extra fabric. There's a way to keep that from happening. You can just fold it in. I'll do that on the next one. So there you go. It looks all nice and tidy on the inside. I'm going to do the next side. And believe it or not, we'll be done. It is super simple to do this bag. So I'm going to use there we go. So I've got all four of these bindings, these end bindings. Now I'm just going to flip her out inside out and show you the end result. Put these little end corners in. It's so nice because it just kind of does exactly what you want it to do because of that sure and staple. So here you go. What do you think? It is so cute. I love it. Can't really see. I probably should have left a little bit more of that zipper showing, shouldn't I? So cute with this coordinating fabric and these end, like these, they're so nice and clean. You just no problem with how they look. You know, you can just do it with your fingers. You just poke them out from inside, and they just are gorgeous. I mean, seriously, they're just gorgeous. There's just no problem with them at all. They just go naturally. You can iron them, of course, press them so that they look nice and boxy. But I love these handles on the sides. Just love them. So I am going to make the other three. And I'll show you what they look like when I'm done.